First of all, I want to offer a shout out to my mom, who I believe after 12 days in hospital with COVID is home and watching this Mass live streamed as she did before she got sick. So hi to Mom, give her a hand. She's watching at home. Thanks be to God. Thanks be to God. Everybody is a little panicked because she still is considered COVID positive and was sent home and was told to isolate for another 14 days and really needs the help of people hanging around nearby her. But everybody's kind of in their own protected COVID way looking after her. So many people are praying for you, Mom. You have no idea, which is a wonderful thing. And I think it's because, I have to say, I was speaking affirmatively of my mother. She is one of the people who is most likely to commit a corporal act of mercy, the one to always be at the wake, to visit someone in the hospital, to welcome the new neighbor with cookies in hand, the one to keep up on what's happening at church, and always ready to be out there for others. And so I think because of that attentiveness to the gospel in those kind of very bread and butter type of ways, so many people have come to her in prayer and in support and in solidarity during this very difficult time. And she would admit to you or I that it was very close whether she would be spending Christmas in heaven or on earth. And that's not a joke, sadly. My dad, who was in heaven, was probably advocating for such, but other friends up in heaven told him he'd just have to be patient a little bit longer. They're going to be there for eternity. You can wait a little bit longer. We would like my mom here on earth a little more. But I think attentiveness is what this gospel is about and what Advent is about as well. Always availing oneself to go out and meet Christ. Meet Christ in the poor, in the suffering, in the sick, and the needy. That's where we find Christ as clearly as we find him in the Eucharist. And being attentive in that nature is what Jesus is having a hard time with in this gospel. Because what else can God do? He sends out a prophet to say, look, the Savior is coming, be ready. They call him crazy. He sends his only Son to go out and to gather people together. And what do they say? He is a glutton and a drunkard. He hangs out with sinners and tax collectors. Not attentive, basically, Jesus is saying about his own contemporaries. A cautionary tale to all of us who tend to want to judge others and not look at our own hearts and where we need more grace to come into our lives so that we might see grace in the lives of other equally flawed people in our universe that we encounter, sadly, day after day. So I invite you to take a page out of my mother's book and to look for those who are in need of your care and love this Advent season. You can pray for them if you can't offer a hand or a dollar in your wallet, but you can certainly pray. And that those prayers, as I have just said earlier, get answered through the prayers of others when we find ourselves on the other end of the equation. May this Eucharist remind us that Jesus is feeding us always and getting us through so that our journey to heaven, when the time comes, will be one of sweetness and joy and not one of consternation, pain, and suffering.